And good afternoon. New information today at 5 about a young Carbondale officer shot in the line of duty. I am live here in Carbondale to bring that story to you. It's the focus of our news today at 5. Now, here's what I can tell you. This officer remains in serious but stable condition tonight in a St. Louis hospital. Carbondale police are not releasing his name yet, they say, out of respect for his family. We know he's a 26-year-old officer who's been with the force since 2013, and at least 2 suspects are on the run, possibly more. Now, the injured officer and others responded to a call of shots fired on North Stall Street around midnight. They began chasing a tan Grand Prix, leaving the scene, and police say when they got out onto Dillinger Road, at least one of them began shooting at the officers, striking one of them. Loretto Cruz is here with me live. Sheree Honeycutt also helping with our live team coverage. And Loretto, I know you got a lot of new information from police from a 3 o'clock news conference. Let's go to Sheree first, though, in Carterville, where police tracked down a key piece of evidence in this case. Sheree?
Kathy, that key piece of evidence you're talking about is the Grand Prix that you were mentioning earlier. And that Grand Prix was found, if you look just over my shoulder in that black spot behind this car, that's where they found it. It went off the road and was set fire or caught fire. We're not exactly sure which one, but I can tell you that there was a big fire and it burned out a lot of this wooded area that's right there. It was even still smoking when I arrived on scene. Now I want to show you this video of the investigation here. They have canine dogs searching these woods for possibly a scent. They also were out here earlier hitting the brush, trying to find if anything was in that brush that would lead them to these 2 suspects that we keep talking about. So I talked to neighbors and they said that they didn't hear anything or see anything, but they did see, obviously, when the investigation started here. Now, I can tell you that police have said that this car is going to be taken to DuQuoin, where it's going to be processed, and hopefully they'll find some more evidence there. I'll be back for Heartland News at 6 for more details on this investigation. Live, local, late breaking. Sheree Honeycutt, Heartland News.
Sheree, thank you. Back out here live with Loretto Cruz. And Loretto, the chief told me that actually the news conference was pushed back to 3 o'clock because of the discovery of that vehicle. You were in there listening to what the chief had to say. What seems to be his biggest priority?
Well, Kathy, obviously, Carbondale police are putting a lot of resources into finding the 2 suspects who are still at large and bringing them to justice. They even went so far as to offer a $10,000 reward for information leading to their capture. But Chief Grubbs did also take the time to specifically reach out to officers, as the officer sits in the St. Louis area hospital with serious injuries. Now, new information from that news conference told us that this officer was in pursuit of the 2 suspects last night. The chief says at least one of them shot the victim's police cruiser, and at least one of those bullets struck the officer through his windshield. That's when officers broke off the chase to seek medical attention.
We also know that there are individuals out there who have information about what occurred just before midnight last night, and we want those individuals to come forward.
As Sheree mentioned earlier, the car was dumped just north of Carterville, burned and abandoned. Now, Kathy, although police did tell us that they have very limited description of the suspects, they did take time to mention that the 2 suspects are still at large and are considered armed and dangerous as of tonight.
All right, Loretto, thank you very much. Now, we don't have to tell you how serious this situation is and how serious police took it as the whole thing unfolded. You can hear it all in the scanner traffic. Listen to how the events unfolded over the airwaves.
2-6 is hit. I'm hitting the face. 420 shot. Ambulance out here, Carbondale. I have 2-6. We're going to the hospital right now. 2-6 is hit.
Obviously a very frantic situation. Police were on that scene all evening. Again, they've been working this case all day. Let's come back out here live with Loretto. And Loretto, you and I just witnessed a small army carrying food and water and supplies into Carbondale PD. You met up with a woman earlier who wanted to do her own part to say thank you.
Yeah, Kathy, that's right. I mean, the chief told us also at the news conference this afternoon that there has been an extreme outpouring of support, not just from across the country, but also here in Carbondale. While the police worked to gather more information on the suspected shooter this morning, a few people from Carbondale came out to help out. Linda Goforth was her name, and her husband arrived at the police station around 11 this morning to bring the police officers food and drinks. Goforth says she brought at least a few $100s worth of food just for today and will continue to do so as long as it takes. The former bed and breakfast owners say they are prepared to be out every day for at least a week and a half, or again, as long as it takes to help.
this morning when I found out what happened, I broke into tears, and I called the police department and said, what can I do? They walk out that door, and they don't know when they leave if they're going to come back and take care of their wife, their child. Who's going to send my daughter to school? Who's going to walk my daughter down the aisle? They do not know that, but they do it.
Goforth says she also wrote a check to the officer's family to help with expenses as they recover from last night's shooting. Now, Kathy, because of that outpouring support, not just from Carbondale, but across the country, police are asking anyone from the community who may want to help out to call the police station first, just to organize efforts to give back to the police officers, because what they don't want is to be left with so much that some of it will end up going to waste.
That's right, but they really do appreciate it, and we know that people are going to keep helping in the days to come. Loretto, thank you. Let's